Welcome to the Grotesque Brain, where we explore trivia over many topics of the horror genre, such as movies, games, urban legends, and other media that hold at least one creation of horror. You're welcome to leave your suggestions down below for what we can talk about next.
Not scared, are you? Squeak.
This Grotesque Brain is dedicated to director Wes Craven, who recently had passed away. Thank you for the scares and nightmares, Wes Craven. The horror, gothic, and especially the film industry will never forget you. Director Wes Craven, creator of both the Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream franchises, was born in 1939 and raised in a Baptist family. After a very unhappy childhood, he left home to study literature. However, he left school 1 year before returning to study psychology. In 1964, he graduated from Johns Hopkins University to become a teacher. He then left his teaching job after having a divorce with his wife. For a very short amount of time, he worked as a taxi driver. Eventually, the legacy would start to take its form, as Craven would become a co-director of the movie Together, alongside Sean S. Cunningham. The first movie he would make would be The Last House on the Left, released in 1972, which became a huge success, as would his second movie, The Hills Have Eyes, which even won the Critics' Prize at the Stitches Film Festival. One of the most interesting things about Wes Craven, and one of his most iconic series, Nightmare on Elm Street, is that to make the movie, Wes had to sign away all of the rights to the characters and franchise over to Bob Shaye and New Line Cinema. He originally didn't want to make a profit off of the Nightmare on Elm Street sequels. It wasn't until later on in development that Wes Craven would be cut into the project. Nightmare on Elm Street would be the film that get New Line Cinema on the map. Also, the tongue that comes out of the phone that calls Nancy is actually Wes Craven's tongue. What's interesting about Scream was that Wes Craven was actually against making the movie at first. As revealed in the 1999 documentary, The Directors, he almost never made the movie because he thought it was too violent, but reconsidered because of his hungry fans who wanted one last gory movie, even though it wouldn't be his last, as the Scream series would have 3 sequels after it. The mask used in Scream was discovered by Wes Craven while looking for film locations in California. Inside one of the rooms of a possible filming house, he saw a mask hanging on the wall. He sent a photo to Dimension Films, and they told him to get the prop department to make a replica of the mask, as the family didn't own the rights to the mask. The mask itself also takes some inspiration from the painting Scream by Edvard Munch. As stated in the movie Scream, they listed horror film rules. 1. You will not survive if you have sex. 2. You will not survive if you drink or do drugs. 3. You will not survive if you say, "I'll be right back."
Never, under any circumstances say, "I'll be right back," because you won't be back.
Get another beer, you want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back!
And 4. Everyone is a suspect. And 2 additional rules came from the killer. 5. You will not survive if you ask who's there. And 6. You will not survive if you go out to investigate a strange noise. The film's high school scenes were originally supposed to be recorded at Santa Rosa High School in California, in the Santa Rosa district. However, very close to the shooting date, the school board read the script and denied the film to be shot there, due to the violent nature, as they had been under the impression that the film was a comedy, not a horror film, and production was moved over to Healdsburg, California. As revenge, Wes Craven put in the credits under the special thanks section, "No thanks whatsoever to the Santa Rosa City High School District Governing Board." Scream was released in theaters 5 days before Christmas. This was done because at the usual time of the year, there are mostly family-friendly films coming out, and so that the horror community would be able to watch something during the holidays. One last bit of information was that while it was scripted, there was supposed to be a scene after the bathroom attack where Sidney burst into the principal's office and reports the incident crying for help. Although the scene was never included in the full movie, it explains why Hembry ultimately decided to suspend the lessons and dismiss the students. Thanks for watching, but I've got a bit of a surprise for you. Now there's a certain pattern for Grotesque Brains, and a voting system. Here's how the pattern will go. First, a surprise Grotesque Brain with a topic chosen by myself, and then a voted Grotesque Brain, and so on. So, how will it be voted? In the comments section, between 2 options at the end of each voted video. For this one, it's between Capcom's Resident Evil or Konami's Silent Hill. I hope you enjoy, and happy voting.